Hi guys. So I decided to do a video. I hope I can make this as brief as possible. I got asked to speak on a topic in a church to single people, and the topic was, Lord, why am I single? And I had stuff. I prepared my lesson notes and then areas affecting guys. For me, I decided to go practical because some of the obvious things are, oh, my uncle in the village has sworn that nobody in my family is going to get married, and all those things. Those things do happen, but a lot of times I think it's easier to assume that the reason why something is not happening is because it's something out of your control. But how about things that are within your control? That is what I want to talk about. So I'll start with the guys. Guys, I love you. Don't hate on me, but I have to tell the truth. I've met a lot of guys, or I know a lot of guys, single guys in their 30s, and they seem ready to get married. But guess what? No money. And I'm not just talking about getting the ceremony, because you don't need money to do you don't really need money like that. You can keep the ceremony very, very simple. How many guys are ready to settle down? A lot of guys, they want to marry, but they don't have the financial capacity to get married and start a family. And it's such a problem, because truth be told, the times that we are in, things are really tough. So no young girl is going to come and follow you and say, let's marry, maybe things will get... We need to see things that are in place for us to believe that even if you don't have it all, we are not looking for... Let me not say we, I'm already married, sorry. They are not necessarily looking for Dangote's son. They are looking for... I'm sure some ladies are like, speak for yourself. Okay, the average lady. See, let me tell you, it's not like... I know some ladies are ridiculously... they are ridiculously greedy about this kind of things. They want it all, the blah 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 and all that. But I think that the average babe wants... Nobody... we like security, we like comfort. Nobody wants to come and get married and then you're suffering inside the marriage. It's not interesting. So you can't blame the ladies at all. At least let there be things in place. Let there be... You have money coming in every month, whether it's through your job or through a business. At the end of the month, I'm not going to be scratching my head that I'm hungry. Provision has been made for me. That's how it's supposed to be. So you cannot blame any lady. So the guys will now say, it's not our fault, the economy is bad, there are no jobs. Now there are three categories of guys I'm going to address. One, the ones that don't have degree. Oh, I did not go to school, I don't have work because I don't have a degree. Two, the ones that have degree but cannot find a job. And then three, the ones that have degree, have a job, and yet they are still broke. Now, for the ones that don't have degree, well, things happen in life. Maybe when you were growing up, nobody saw you through school. Though there are people that hustled their way through school. I don't know what your situation was and all that. But there are people today that don't have a degree and yet they are still hustling. So degree is not... the people that have degrees, they don't even have the work. They still hustle. So that's not an excuse. That you did not go to school is not an excuse. You have to find something. Now, I saw an argument the other day that it's not everybody that has mind for business. My dear, hunger never reach you. If better hunger reach you, you go find something where you go do. I personally believe that God has given everybody something. You may not be a business person, but there's something you can do with your hands. There's something you are good at. Everybody has something. Whether it's one talent or two talent, everybody has something. So it's on you now to look inside. What is it that I have? What is it that I can do? And these are things that you should have done before you reached your 30s? I mean, what were you doing in the whole of your 20s? These are things that I encourage teenagers now to find out early. Prepare their minds that, look, the kind of country we are in, go to school for going to school's sake, but as young as you are, you're already thinking of what you're going to go into that will bring you money. I mean, some of us, we have work, we have a job, but we are still hustling because the money is not even enough. And then apart from that, you're supposed to have multiple streams of income, because what if that job you're so relying on, you wake up one day and you don't have it anymore? You understand? So everybody is hustling. So you don't have a degree, it's not an excuse. You have to find something to do. Then those that have the degree and don't have job, you create job for yourself. You have to create job for yourself. It's the same thing. It's almost like the same thing with the people that don't have degree. You create job for yourself. You remove that mindset of white collar job. Fine, look for it, but don't put your life on hold till you have it. What if you don't have it? What if you don't live in places like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, that there are more chances of getting those kind of jobs? What if you live in another city that is just civil servants, and then the civil servants, the older generation, they have refused to retire, or they have retired and the government have refused to employ more people? What would you do? So you have to look inward. What can I do? We have courses online, short courses that one can take and then get into one thing or the other. There are so many opportunities if we don't shut our minds. It all starts from here. Once you limit yourself and tell yourself, because I don't have a job, I cannot do this, that's the end. You need to be open-minded. And then you need to get your hands dirty. Some people are just proud, I cannot do this or I cannot do that. And you are hungry. My dear, if you need to sell pure water, sell the pure water. Personally, I respect anybody, because I believe there's dignity in labor. I respect anybody, no matter how menial what you're doing is. But you're doing something about your upkeep. You're doing something about, you're not begging for urgent 2K. The person you're begging for urgent 2K is working, These people that we envy, they work hard, Some of us are envying them. We cannot work as hard as they do. So there's really no food for lazy man. That is not an excuse that you have graduated and you have no job. Go and look for what, even if you have to sell pure water. Look for something in your environment, a need in your environment, and fulfill that need. And from there, you don't know where God will lead you to. Then the third category are people, they are graduates, they have work, and yet they are still broke. It's one thing for you to be making money. It's another thing for you to be able to keep some of the money you are making. We don't know how to save. We are not financially educated. There's so much we need to learn in this life. You can be working. Some of us, the minute we stop working, we are gone. Nothing. As in, you are finished. Especially for those who work in big companies, for those who work in oil companies, for those who work in the bank. If you're not financially educated, the moment that job is gone for whatever reason, and anything, this life, things happen, you're down to ground zero. We need to be financially educated. We need to learn that we need to have an emergency fund. COVID showed last year that people that were not, stopped working, because of the lockdown, they saw uncho, and I hope they've learned. We need to have an emergency fund. Me that I'm talking to you, I'm still learning financial education. It's not as I'm there. I'm not there, but I'm getting myself more educated about these things. We need to have emergency funds. You need to have something. You need to have a saving somewhere that 6 months after you have stopped working, you still have something to sustain you. You need to invest. You need to have multiple sources of income. A lot of people that had jobs, you just feel that this money will always come. This money will always come. You don't know tomorrow. I'm not praying for anything bad to happen, but in this world, you have tribulation. We live in a broken world, so things happen. If Joseph in the Bible told Pharaoh to save. You know that recession will always come. It's a cycle. It will come, go. So you need to save for the rainy day. Yes, we are trusting God. We are believers. We believe that, oh my God shall supply all my needs, blah, 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 and all that. And yet, the Bible still talks about savings, you know. So, we need to learn to save. We need to learn to invest. We need to learn to invest for the future. We need to learn that you are working at some point. The money you have made should be able to work for you, because if anything happens to you now, anything can happen. God forbid you have an accident and you're paralyzed and you cannot do that work you are doing. God forbid. What happens? So, guys, we need to do better, because no babe ain't gonna follow nobody that is broke. Sorry. I don't care if you like join Stingy Men Association. Now you sabi, the average babe is not going to follow anyone that doesn't have anything. In fact, these days, guys just wait for ladies that they see that are, you know, it's not okay. That's not the natural order of things. I'm not saying that you cannot marry somebody who is earns more than you, but you yourself, for your own dignity, for your own whatever, even if it's whatever, you must bring something to the table. You can't just relax and just say that's not the natural order of things. We'll talk about more points, but that's just what I have to say for now.